Most people associate Sun Tzu with battlefields, generals, and strategy quotes shared by people who have never actually read him. He is often portrayed as a philosopher of victory or a mystical thinker who mastered the psychology of conflict. But this view completely misses the point. Sun Tzu was not obsessed with winning wars. He was obsessed with avoiding them. He did not care about glory, honor, or conquest. He cared about cost. And in a world bleeding itself dry through constant warfare, Sun Tzu was one of the first thinkers to state an uncomfortable truth. For a state, the greatest danger is not the enemy in front of you, but the bill that comes afterward. Sun Tzu lived during one of the most chaotic periods in Chinese history. Between the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, China was fragmented into rival states, each convinced it could unify the world and willing to drain its treasury trying. War was constant. Armies grew larger, logistics became more complex, and costs exploded. This was no longer heroic warfare. It was an economic stress test. The moment a ruler sent an army into the field, he was borrowing from the future, and more often than not, that debt came due. Today we imagine ancient wars as noble and tactical, but in Sun Tzu's time, war was above all logistical. Once an army moved, the meter started running. Grain, horses, weapons, armor, craftsmen, transport, all of it had to be paid for. A campaign lasting months could bankrupt a small state. A war lasting years could collapse a powerful one. This is the world Sun Tzu stepped into, not as a poet or dreamer, but as a strategist, solving what was fundamentally an economic crisis. He understood something most rulers did not. Victory means nothing if the treasury collapses. His most famous line, "War is of vital importance to the state," is not praise, it is a warning. Vital means dangerous, destructive, and capable of destroying the society it claims to protect if mismanaged. That is why the rest of the art of war is about control. How to shorten wars, cheapen them, and avoid unnecessary destruction. Even his most quoted idea, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting," is not mysticism. It is cost avoidance. Fighting is expensive. Prolonged conflict is financially ruinous. Speed, intelligence, deception, and psychological pressure matter because they are cheaper than armies. Sun Tzu was not trying to win wars. He was trying to prevent states from bankrupting themselves while trying to win them. His 5 foundational factors are not philosophical abstractions. They are economic variables. How stable is your state? How resilient is your population? How efficient is your administration? How disciplined is your command? These are questions of resource management. Long before the term existed, Sun Tzu was doing risk assessment. Logistics was not something that supported strategy. Logistics was strategy. The farther an army traveled, the higher the cost. Transport drained the treasury faster than paying soldiers. Extended campaigns destroyed agriculture, and wasteful commanders won meaningless battles while bankrupting their nations. That is why Sun Tzu urged leaders to use enemy resources, avoid prolonged wars, and understand that hesitation was not the problem. Financial recklessness was. For Sun Tzu, intelligence was not an accessory to war. It was the most cost-effective weapon available. A single spy could prevent an entire army from marching in the wrong direction. Bad information meant bad spending, and bad spending led to collapse. His warnings echo through modern history. Vietnam, Afghanistan, and the First World War were not lost because armies were weak, but because the economic models behind them collapsed. Today's cyber warfare, sanctions, proxy wars, and deterrence strategies all follow Sun Tzu's logic. Minimum cost, maximum effect. Sun Tzu was not a warrior. He was a governor. His philosophy does not glorify victory. It glorifies stability. He does not praise conquest. He praises preservation. Because real power is not measured by how hard you strike, but by how long you can endure. History shows this again and again. The winner is not the bravest state, but the one with the greatest economic discipline.